Box plots are one type of graph we use to summarize and display statistical data. They give us a big picture of the data and highlight certain results that have been found. Box plots display the 5-number summary, which is the minimum value, the first quartile, the median, the third quartile, and the maximum. Here's a sketch of kind of a template for a box plot. We notice there's a box in the middle. On one side of the box is the first quartile, on the other side is the third quartile. And then somewhere in between is a line for the median. It doesn't have to be right in the middle. And then we call these whiskers that go off to the left and to the right that show where the minimum and the maximum values are. So a box plot displays the 5-number summary. Now when we break the data up into quartiles, like we do in the 5-number summary, what that's doing is it is dividing the data up into 25% chunks, or into quarters. So keep in mind that 25% of our data will be between the minimum and the first quartile. Another 25% of our data will be between the first quartile and the median. Another 25% will be between the median and the third quartile. And another 25% of our data is between the third quartile and the maximum. Right here we have data about the weight of the raisins in 10 boxes of raisins. Let's make a box plot with this data. So we need to find the 5-number summary. We'll start by finding the median. Now there are 10 numbers here, so there will be 2 middle numbers. So here I divided the data up. We have 5 data points on the left and 5 on the right. The median will be halfway between 30 and 34. And you can calculate that if you want to by adding the 2 middle numbers and dividing by 2. And when we do that, we get 32. Now the first quartile will be the middle of the lower half of the data. So 29 is the first quartile. And the third quartile will be the middle of the upper half of the data. So the third quartile is the number 35. Now the 5-number summary also includes the minimum value and the maximum value. Right, it's important to set up a good scale that fits our data from our minimum to our maximum. I think I'll start at the number 24 and go up to the number 38. I'm going to go by ones, but I'm only going to label every other tick mark. And these numbers represent the weight in grams. Now notice what I did not do on the scale. I did not just label the numbers 25, 28, 29, 30, 34, and so on. I just have numbers evenly spaced that will include these numbers. All right, I'm going to start with my box. My box will go from the first quartile to the third quartile. So it's going to start at 29 and go to 35. So there's my box that goes from the first quartile to the third quartile. Now I'm going to put a vertical line at the median, which is at 32. Now I have a whisker that goes to 25. And another whisker that goes to 38. And there's our box plot. Gives us a nice snapshot of the shape of the distribution of this data about the weight of the raisins. Now we often want to know how spread out the numbers are in a data set. And so we have various ways to measure the spread, or how spread out the data is. The range tells us the difference between the maximum value and the minimum value. And we can get that information straight from either the 5-number summary or our box plot. To calculate the range of the raisin data, we'll take the maximum value and subtract the minimum value. So that was 38 minus 25, which equals 13. So the range of our set of data is 13. That gives us just an overall idea of how spread out the entire set of data is. Now, another way to measure spread, or how spread out the data is called the Interquartile Range, often called the IQR. It tells us the difference between the third quartile and the first quartile. In other words, it tells us the spread of the middle half of the data. So let's find the interquartile range of the raisin data. All right, we want the interquartile range, which is the IQR, and that's the third quartile minus the first quartile. The third quartile from the raisin data was 35, and the first quartile from the raisin data was 29. So the interquartile range is 6. That gives us an idea of how spread out the middle half of the data is. Box plots are a good way to compare two sets of data. This data lists the runs scored for two softball teams over the 10-game season. We're going to create a double box plot or parallel box plots to represent this data. So we will need to find the 5-number summary separately for these two teams. All right, I'll start with Team A. We need to get those runs in order from smallest to biggest. Right, it's 10 seasons, so the median will be between the 5 and the 7. We can either just figure out what number is halfway between 5 and 7, or we can add them and divide by 2. Right, so we get a median of 6. All right, we have the first quartile, is the middle of the lower half of the data, and the third quartile. Then, of course, we have our maximum and our minimum. All right, that's for Team A. Let's do the same thing for Team B. Right, the median is halfway between 4 and 8. We have a first quartile of 2, a third quartile of 10, and we have our maximum and our minimum. All right, let's make our parallel box plots. We're going to put both box plots on the same axis or on the same scale. Otherwise, it's hard to compare them. But if we have them on the same scale, then it's very easy to spot some differences. All right, the minimum number of runs scored is 1, and the maximum is 14. So our scale needs to include those. So I think I'll start at 0 and go by 2s. And I'm going to put a box plot for Team A up here, and a box plot for Team B in here. Right, for Team A. So I draw my box first. The box will go from 4 to 12. So I make the box going from the first quartile to the third quartile. Then I put a vertical line at the median, which is right at 6. And a whisker going to 2. And another whisker going to 14. There's our box plot displaying the distribution of runs scored for Team A. Right, now I'll draw the box for Team B from 2 to 10. We'll draw a line for the median at 6. and a whisker down to the number 1, and the other whisker over to 12. Right, so here we have parallel box plots on the same scale, and we can see that the medians are the same, but the maximums and minimums are different. The middle 50% of the data is spread out about the same amount. So it gives us a nice overall snapshot of the differences between, or some of the differences between Team A and Team B. All right, here's one last example with a question that we'll need to get some numbers off of these box plots. So 11 members of the basketball team and 11 members of the tennis team were randomly sampled to determine their heights. The results are shown below. Find the difference of the upper quartile height of the sampled basketball players and the upper quartile height of the sampled tennis players. All right, so here's what we're looking for. We need to find the difference. When we find the difference, we're subtracting. And we're comparing the upper quartile of the basketball players and the upper quartile of the tennis players. Okay, so let's find those upper quartiles. Well, here's the upper quartile, which would be the third quartile. For the basketball players, that looks like about 71.5. And here's our upper quartile, or third quartile, for the tennis players, and that looks like it's 68. Our job is to find the difference of these two quartiles. So let's just subtract 71.5 minus 68, and we get a difference of 3.5 inches. All right, I hope you found this introduction to box plots helpful. This is Mr. Ela, signing off.